It's loading. All right. So, hello, people. I hope that everyone is having an absolutely wonderful day. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, we are live here with Coach Latoya Kite of the Architects Table Coaching and also of the Complete Woman podcast. So today we are just simply going to have a personal chit chat. Hopefully, she'll tell us a little bit of her business, but we're going to have a personal chit chat that helps us get to know Coach Kite a little bit better. Before we get started with that, I'm just going to do a small introduction of who I am. If you do not know me, I am Coach D. Nicole Williams. I am here in Middleburg, Florida right now, originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm currently in a Master's of Divinity school, so I'm a little bit dislocated from my home, but this is my home by nature. I'm going to ask my friend and my sister and my colleague, Coach Kite, to introduce herself. But as far as our relationship, we've known each other for practically a lifetime, if not the whole entire time. So, Coach Kite, take it away.
Hello, I am Coach Latoya Kite. I am a life and relationship coach. As she stated, my company name is the Architects Table. We also have the Complete Woman organization. And
All right. Cool, cool, cool.
I was on mute. I
So,
was on mute the whole time.
say that one more time.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I
Can you
can't
hear me
hear
now?
you.
I can hear me.
Okay, I can
Can
hear
you
you
hear
now.
me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? Did you hear me the whole time I was talking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looked like I was on mute. Okay, good.
All right, cool. So listen, you all, we've had a number of technical difficulties probably for the last 30, 40 minutes. So if we have any challenges during this call, please don't hesitate to let us know. I will make sure we stop and get every single detail because I'm curious to get all the details myself, okay? So anything you need us to slow down or repeat, we will absolutely be happy to do that. As I said earlier, this is a comfortable sister girl conversation. So if you need any clarity on anything, then please let me know that as well. So, my first question, this is really what I'm so curious to know. Now, I'm trying to really get deep, deep into her business, and hopefully, she tells us all of the business. And I'm there's any tea involved, but if there is, hopefully, she will tell us that too. But I'm curious because, Coach Kite, I have just seen you over the course of our lifetime together. So, like personally, socially, and then we had the professional arm of our relationship. And I'm really curious to see what are some of the things that you would think or use to explain where you are today versus, let's say, 5 years ago.
Well, right now today, everything I'm doing now is nothing like I thought I would be doing or really even wanted to do. I get volunteered a lot of times by God and the D Nicole and a few other people. So I get volunteered a lot of times because I don't I don't always see what other people see. So when I begin the journey of becoming a life coach and all the other things that I do, author, business owner, all of those things at the time, 5 years ago, I definitely didn't think that I would be any of those things. I definitely did not think that I would still be doing those things. And I didn't think that the reception would be what it is. So I am really like amazed at where I am right now because I've grown a whole lot. Like right now, this is the big moment because it was times where she and other people would try to make me talk, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. I'll just sit here and not say anything. So I have really come a long way. I've seen a lot of growth and I've seen a lot of amazing things, and I'm just really, really blessed to be where I am.
That's absolutely wonderful. Those things being said, what have been some challenges that you've overcome in this period of time?
The challenges, some of the challenges I have overcome I haven't fully overcame it, let me say this. Fear of the
Okay.
unknown and stepping out, and the intimidation. Like, I'm still working through those things, but I think I worked a lot because of the times, again, I wouldn't even step out and do certain stuff. I wouldn't want to do certain stuff, but I have the desire now to do a lot of things. So now I will actually step up and do some things. I'm a little more vocal than I would usually be. I'm a little more steadfast in what I believe, what I say, and what I want to do. And I am a little more courageous now because it would be a time where I felt like I needed a sample of approval from certain people, and now I don't need anybody's sample of approval but God. Okay, so so yeah, I've come, like, have really come from up under the thumb of people. Like, that is something that
Yeah.
I had to deal with, is dealing with people, and I had to come up from under their thumb because people would keep me down. And a lot of times where I thought people were keeping me down, it wasn't really them, it was me thinking they would keep me down. So I would just automatically be like, well, they're gonna probably say no anyway, or they're gonna probably not feel me anyway. So I'm gonna already take myself out. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship, oh, I'm gonna end it first before they can end it. That's kind of the mentality that I've had when it comes to people. But now it's kind of like I'm getting to this point where I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do it. I'm one of those people, when God say do it, it may take me a little bit of time, but usually I'm gonna do it. I don't need to have all the details. I don't need to have all my ducks in a row. Let me go do it, because I know me, I'll talk myself out of it, and then I'll turn around years later, still haven't done it, or I'm watching somebody else do it. So I had
Right.
to gain the boldness to go out there and actually do some things with my life, and actually step out on faith and step out on what I wanted to do. So that's what some of the things that I had to kind of push for and push through.
Okay. Now I'm gonna get comfortable. Y'all excuse me because I'm gonna dig right on into this. This stuff is good. You know, we just getting started. This stuff is really good. So I'm curious. You mentioned, and this is like a really great visual as much as it is like people's reality, the whole, feeling like you're under someone's thumb. Can you tell me a little bit more about that type of a feeling, or maybe even some examples of what that might be?
Well, in my situation, in my case, I have often felt like I didn't want to ruffle feathers, or I
Hmm.
didn't want to do anything that would um be in the way of what somebody else was doing. So I would
Hmm.
oftentimes put myself in the back seat. I would oftentimes just sit back and just be in fear of even saying anything about it, because I
Hmm.
would be in fear of the reaction I would get. Because sometimes the reaction I would get from certain key people that I definitely look up to, are people that I definitely felt like I could get some kind of backing or support from, and then come to
Hmm.
find out they'll have an issue, or they have something negative to say, or they'll throw shade or something like that. And I'm one of those people. I'm learning, but I'm one of those people that, you do that to me, I kind of revert back into my shell. So I
Hmm.
had to learn to, in spite of what you have to say, in spite of how you feel, in spite of what you see, I had to understand that God's opinion and the way that God views it is way bigger than what you have to say. You don't matter when it comes to what God wants me to do. You don't matter when it comes to where God wants me to go. So I had to come from out of the shadow of people and their opinion, and I had to stop
Hmm.
worrying about that and start doing my thing, because what I started to learn about people is, going to do what they want to do anyway, and they're going to feel how they want to feel no matter what you say, no matter what you do. Some people gonna like you and some people not. It's just how the world is, so you have to just do what you are called to do. And that's where I am. I have to not be in fear of, if I don't do it your way, does that mean that it's not God's will? I had to get
Yeah.
this mentality that, just because I'm not going through you to do it, does that not mean that God is not God's purpose for me? Do I have to come to you and I have to let you know what I'm doing and get your permission and all this other kind of stuff and, break it all down for you where I'm going and what I'm trying to do? I had to get to this point where, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Do what God told you to do.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm at.
Honey, let's pause right here, people. It looked like we got an attitude. It looked like we had to get a whole purpose attitude to say, you know what, I got to be about my Father's business and not be worried about these other things. What would you say was the feeling, or is the feeling, because I imagine you're still living in it, but what was the feeling that you got when you could let go of that type of baggage?
Woo, child. Free. Understand? I'm so free at this point. I mean, when I tell you there has been a weight lift off me, I had to ask myself, why have you been this way your whole life? What's wrong with you? What is the problem? Like, what is the problem with you? Like, you could have been this person that you are now, but you have allowed outside entities to cause you to stay stagnant or push you back and silence you. But now I'm here, like what they say, I'm here, hear me roar, however they say it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. It is what it is. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you see it. Like, it is so free. Like, get free from people. Okay? Get free from people. Free yourself from people and their opinions, because opinions are like buttholes. Okay? Everyone has one. All right.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can you bite? Can you just back for it? Say now what the opinions. What is the opinion again? I just wanna make sure I heard what I heard when I heard what I heard. That's all I'm trying to make sure of.
Are like buttholes. Everyone has one.
Everybody got one. It may be a different shape, size, color, but we all got them, huh? My Lord.
And it may be dirty, but everybody got one.
It may be dirty. Right. Come on, opinions. Come on. I'm trying to fix my face. Hold on. Let me put my professional face on. Because you're a mess today. Well, you know what? That's good. That really is some good stuff, because what my urgency was, I told you all, Coach Kite, a week or so ago, I said, hey, I really need to talk with you. I want to get this conversation out there, because when I began to see the things that she was doing, especially, the fact that it's quarantine time, pandemic, we really all have to take a seat and acknowledge what's going on around us, which also means acknowledging the work and momentum of our sisters. Now, it just happened to be that she was launching the podcast and all these other things at the same time. So it was like, well, wait a minute, this is different from just looking at what's going on around you. This is new birth. This is definitely new birth. And so what I hope you all are listening to and listening for is what in Coach Kite's life mimics what you're experiencing too, because she's also along the way giving you jewels of how you can drop those same problems yourself. And so that's what I was really curious about, because I'm like, Lord, we have coexisted together for so long. Something is different. And I wanted to, because I didn't have this conversation with her before right now. This is new for all of us. But I said, something is different. And I really wanted to know, what is this difference? What is it? Because in being a life coach and also being a sister and having many sister friends, but because we're life coaches, you want to see people give birth. And sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it takes a while to conceive a child. And then, you're doing all of the Lamaze, breathing and working with him and all of this type of stuff like this. But I want to make sure, are you talking to us, Coach Kite? because you muted. But I just wanted to make sure you all knew how you can also give birth. Go ahead, Coach.
I can't hear you.
You still, can you all hear me?
I can, oh, wait, hello?
Yes, I think your mic keeps going off. Zoom might be knocking your mic off because it mutes you and turns your thing off. But I was just telling them that I noticed some different things in you, and I wanted you to be able to share these things because they are so inspirational for me to be able to see, because I know it's like this. When I thought about this conversation today, I said almost like knocking on a door, knocking on a door, knocking on a door, and the door has finally been opened, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was curious as to what that door is. Is that like a faith door? Is it a prayer door? Is it just a, I don't know. So that's what I was curious about. That's all I was curious about. So let me back us back again. So we talked about what it feels like to, oh, go ahead.
Hold on, I gotta plug my phone up. They're so stupid. My phone about to go dead.
Pause. I told y'all this was gonna be comfortable. Everybody go plug up your phone. Everybody take a pause and plug up your phone. Everybody get you a drink. I told y'all, see, we just having a good little chit chat.
I had it plugged up, but I kept seeing the numbers go down on the percentage. I said, oh, that's not working. So let me go switch the outlet.
Let me check mine too. Everybody make sure your phone. Oh yeah, mine, I got it plugged up, child. I don't rearrange everything. But here we are. We're back. So we talked about the idea of having, being under a person's thumb or many people's thumb, the expectations of what people thought of you, what they were going to judge, what they're going to criticize. If you could give a guess to what percentage of that was real anxiety or concern, and what percentage of it was fake or things that you in your mind, say, how much of it was what?
I would say it was probably about 80% me.
Okay.
And the rest was other people, because I think I held people at such a high standard, and I let people have such a weight in my life and such a standing in my life that I would already, because of the doubt and the and the what's the word, the second guessing that I had of myself, I had already put myself back and said, they're gonna feel like this, they are going to say this, they are going to look at me like this, I would already have made up their mind for them. And instead of me going to really find out, I would automatically just be like, no, don't worry about it, I'm just not gonna do it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say it. Don't worry about it, I'll just let it go. If it's for, and I'm real big on this, because this is what we do. Us folk, us Christian folk, and us African Americans, and us African Americans.
I thought you were gonna talk about the cousins. Yes. Okay.
So, this is what we do. We quit to say, well, if it's the Lord's will, if God wanted to happen, if God gotta do it, we just gonna wait on God. Listen to me. You gonna wait on God?
I'm gonna turn my video off because you telling the truth.
Looking at you like, what are you doing? I've already put the tools in front of you. I've already put the connections. I've already shown you what to do. So what else do you want? What else do you want to happen? Why are you waiting? Why are you looking at what's going on around you? And why are you sitting here talking about you waiting on me? If I'm make it happen, I already made it happen. I'm not gonna push the button for you. I'm not gonna open it up for you. I'm not gonna come and do it for you. I'm not gonna push you through the door. I'm not gonna open. You need to move, because faith without work is dead. So what is the point of me being in your life as your God, and you sitting back and you saying, if it's God's will, it's already been my will. I sent the people, the resources, I sent the connections. What else do you want?
Come on.
me to
Get
do.
mad.
You want me to go
Yeah.
and talk to the people myself. You want me to go and sit down in the meeting. You want me to go in the boardroom. You want me to call the people up. You want me to talk. Why do you want me to do everything? I've already given you the tools. I've already given you the way to do it. I've already shown you who can help you.
Come on.
Tell me why you're still waiting on me when I've already done my job.
You
And
got to
that's
talk
what I
today,
would do.
sis.
That is such a cop out. Let me help you. That is such a cop out. First, do everything in your power that you can do, and
Come on.
then let God come in and do the rest where you can't do anything else. But
Come
don't
on.
start out, oh, I'm going to just let God do it. I'm going to just let God figure it out. No. He already figured it out. And he showed you plain as day, done slapped you in the face and everything with it. And you still sitting there talking about, well, I'm going to wait on God. I'm going to sit here and
I'm
pray.
waiting on God.
Is this the
I'm
Lord's
going to pray about it.
Okay.
Hashtag I'm still praying. Do not go to the I'm still praying conferences, please. You're not going to get anything done. I'm still waiting. Don't go. Don't you go to that conference. I'm telling you right now, they ain't getting nothing done. They still waiting on a mighty move of God. It ain't moving themselves.
Fault, Miss Diane. It's D Nicole's fault. It's her fault. She making
I'm
me do.
surprised that Coach Tribble knows you act like this. You've been showing out.
Yes,
Oh, Lord.
It's
If
her
I
fault
told your
too.
mama, she would say, no, it's not.
It's
No,
her fault too. Yes, it's her fault too.
My Lord, you know what? You tickle me, but you know, I appreciate this conversation again because I know you're gonna be honest. You understand what I'm saying? I know you're gonna be honest. So here is where I'm gonna ask you for a little bit of tea.
Oh Lord.
Everybody, let's just pause real quick.
Oh, here you go.
You know I gotta do my meditative breathing. You a hater. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now you may not tell me any names. Okay. I appreciate you staying classy.
I don't do that.
Not trashing, but I do want to know the closeness of these relationships that you've mentioned, that you've referenced. So has it been best friends, close friends, sisters, brothers? You know, what types of people have been the people who in reality felt some type of way or responded a certain type of way or didn't support you in a type of way? What has been the relation?
Mostly leaders of some kind.
You talking. Oh, you talking good.
Mm-hmm.
You talking.
And sometimes
My
friends.
Lord.
Sometimes friends, but other than that, yeah. That's about it. Yeah. People that I felt because, and this is the thing. Help Lord. So just because
Turn up.
Come on.
Turn up.
Just because someone tells you that this is what God see, what they see in you, what God is telling them about you, does not give them the authority over your gift.
Come on.
You're supposed to be an entrepreneur. Okay, great. We praise God. I receive it, like you say, my sister say, I receive it. That does not mean that when I become an entrepreneur, that I owe you something because you called it out in me. That does not mean you have right to what I'm doing because you saw it in me through God's eyes. That does not give you any. You have no rights to what I'm doing. You have no rights. I don't have to get your approval. I don't have to listen to your direction if I don't want to, if that's not what God is telling me to do. If God tells me to listen to your direction, absolutely. But I don't owe you anything because you see it in me and because you have supported me in the past, because you were there when nobody else was. You know, people like to claim that, like to pull that out the bag. I was there before anybody else was. I was the one that was helping you with this, and I was the one helping you with that. Thank you. Very good. I'm so happy you helped me get to where I am. God bless you. Because if God don't tell me to repay it, if God doesn't tell me to do something for you in return, I don't know what to tell you, baby. You should have done it out the kindness of your heart. You should have done it out of the pureness of your heart. Because if you always looking for a return for what you have done, you will always be disappointed.
My Lord.
So you need to be mindful. We have to absolutely, Crystal, you have to already know who God says you are, not what man says you are, because let's flip that thing. Just because I believe that God told me I was an entrepreneur and then you come tell me I'm supposed to work on somebody's job for the rest of my life, does not mean I'm going to listen to you, because that's not what God said to me. God did not say that I was going to be working on somebody's job for the rest of my life. What God said was I was an entrepreneur.
Right.
What God said was I was a millionaire. What God even told me just this morning, I'm a mogul. So what I will not do is allow you to keep me in a box, because now you're afraid of what is in me, because you never knew I was going to tap into what was in me. So now because I have tapped into it, you are now afraid, because now you see that I'm coming for your spot, but I'm not really coming for your spot. I'm just doing what God told me to do. But now, because you have done things out of order, out of line, and out of the impureness of your heart, now you feel like everybody else is doing that. But if you don't understand that if you stay on my team, I can help you. If you stay on my team, I'll take you with me. If you stay on my team, I'll help you out. If you stay on my team, you'll be blessed and favored right along with me. But because I have been up under your thumb so many years, you feel like I need to stay there, but I'm not staying up under your thumb, because that's not where I was called to be. I was called to rule and reign. I was not called to sit in the background. I was not called to sit behind you. I was not called for you to keep me in a box. I was called to be out here in the earth. So I'm going to do what God told me to do, and I have to stand firm and bold in that and believe that with everything in me, even when you say what you say to me, even when you feel how you feel about me, I still got to look beyond what you say and what you feel and know what God said. Point blank.
My Lord.
Hey, Commander. Yes.
Oh, look how she turned it on real quick for her friend came on. I was going to do us a little pause, because you really got to digest all of that. Hey, Kalanda. She just went off. Hashtag go off. And then, hey, Kalanda.
Girl, you have
to
know how to go and come back, honey.
You really do, because you can't stay out there. People have you out there, honey. You be backed up for real.
Because it was gonna go. You have to come back. You have to pull it back.
You really do. You really absolutely do. You really absolutely do. So I have a few more questions, you all. I'm gonna give you all some time to ask some questions too. So if in the chat you have any questions, anything that would give you further insight for moving forward in your own blockages or whatever it is, I would like to say that Coach Kite in this process has shown us how true it is that when you change your posture, come on somebody, you will change your life. I never even connect these dots, but that is a little plug. But when you change your posture, you totally will change your life. So since I brought that up, I want you to tell me, what were 3 changes in your posture that you know changed your life?
One of the changes was my association. I had to change who I was around, who I was listening to, and who I was trusting. I had to change. I had to change that. I had to remove some people. I had to demote some people, and I had to elevate some people.
That's good.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of rearranging of who I am around and who I talk to and all of that. In my own confidence, my posture has changed. I had to know that girl, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I had to know that wherever God puts me, I will flourish because of what He put in me. So I had to believe that. So my confidence had to change up. So I had to change my posture with that. with my, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically with my standards and my expectations. I had to change that. I had to look at it a different way. I had to really get into the scripture where it says he would do exceedingly and above all you would ask and think. I had to really put my mind there and really think about that thing, because if you really think about that scripture, if he can do more than you can act or think, I tell people all the time, I don't know about your mind, but the way this mind set up, it goes a lot of places.
Come on.
So if he can take you further than that, why am I worried about you? Why am I sitting around trying to figure out what you can do with me and do for me with your little small platform and your little coins that you got, and you're not, and you don't have that much back end, and he can sit me in rooms with kings and queens. Okay. Hallelujah. That's my three.
You all, did everybody notice the hand? So you got to do the hand, but it can't just be together like this. It has to be, like you shooing somebody. Just
because you gotta show them. Not because that's a word. You gotta show them. Understand? You gotta show them at your life. You gotta show them out. Because if you don't show them, they'll stay. Come on. They'll stay and they'll have it. They'll you gotta shoo them away. You gotta let them know you real about this thing. They can't stay. They can't wreak havoc. They can't do what they want to do. They can't say what they want to say. They got to go. You got to shoo them away.
Come on. Come on. Everybody, you hear Regina, and I'm not even gonna do this with the two of you all. Everybody, I want you to get your hands, and I want you to turn a little angle. Okay, open it up. And like you doing just back it away. And remember that in the spirit. Come on. Remember that in the spirit. That's how you have to do. You have to
It'll help you. It'll help you. Huh?
You got to shoe them. Okay, I'm gonna get comfortable again because I'm digging for some more tea. Hold on. This is real comfortable.
Oh Lord. Yes, Regina, come on.
You got to I got to get in my meditative posture. Okay. We were having a conversation the other night on our prayer call, and you mentioned something that I felt oppressed behind it. You mentioned about the things within you that you knew had to make adjustments, and it was an emotional statement for you. It was a heavy loaded, a very weighted statement for you. What is it that a person can anticipate experiencing on the inside before they get to where you are right now?
Ooh, child, I don't remember that moment. You remember more than me. My brain is horrible. But you
mentioned it because it was just a statement about confidence and building these things on the inside of yourself.
You can expect a deconstruction on the inside for a reconstruction. You can expect that because God is going to have dismantled a whole lot of stuff when you're saying that you want to do his will and you want to do this thing for real. He's got to take apart some stuff, and some stuff he takes apart slowly. So maybe he takes apart the kitchen and he takes the sink out first and leaves everything else. The cabinet's still old, the counter's still old, but that sink gone. That's that's an intricate part of your kitchen, So if you're looking at it that way, so if I'm trying to do something, I want to remodel home, I want a whole new home, and your body is your temple, your life is your body, and all that kind of stuff that goes together is your temple. So if I have to deconstruct this stuff to get it back to where God originally intended for it to be. See, we do so many things. We put so many things into our homes, in our temples. We put so many things, and I'm not talking about in the natural only. I'm talking about in the spiritual. We get in these relationships that are toxic, and they take stuff away from us, and they're ripping the paint off the wall, and they're tearing up your furniture, and they're throwing everything around and busting up your windows because you're in a relationship that God never intended. You get in these careers and these jobs, and then everything is being tossed around, and your plumbing is backed up and all this kind of stuff because you're in a place that God never intended in the first place. So you get into these situations, and you get into these relationships, and you get into these careers, and you get into these thought processes where you allow the enemy to come into your mind. So he's in your mind, and he's tearing stuff apart. He's tearing your ceiling off and all kind of stuff. Your light fixtures are gone because at the end of the day, you have let the enemy come in, and he's painted your mind so much against yourself. Like back to what we were saying earlier about how much of it was me and how much was it of the people. A lot of it was me because I allowed the enemy to come in, and I allowed him to say some things to me that did not line up to what God was saying. So now when I look back at my home is so damaged to the point that now it has to be all the way deconstructed for it to be reconstructed because I can't reconstruct on mess. I can't reconstruct with mold in my house. I can't reconstruct with my plumbing backed up. I can't reconstruct when my roof is falling apart and I got leaks coming from my roof. I cannot reconstruct when my cabinets are there, but my sink isn't there. I can't reconstruct like that because all of that stuff is old. I want a modern home. I want a new home. I want new light fixtures. I want all stuff to change around. So I got to do something different. I can't go to the same real estate that I went to before. I can't go to the same builders that I went to before. I can't go to the same loan company I went to before. I have to go to someone different so I can get different results. But we're so stuck, and we so believe, and we are so true to what is messed up. Then when we look back, we're trying to figure out why our home is still messed up. But God is looking at you like you can have a whole new home if you would just follow me and do what I said do.
Come on.
Me and what my instructions are, if you get rid of those people who are just squatting in your home because they're squatters, they don't belong. If you get rid of those people, then you won't have to worry about all of this stuff. If you get rid of that moldy furniture, you won't have to worry about the stink that's in your house. If you take the trash out, you won't have to worry about the animals and the bugs coming in to eat your trash, because if you would clean it out, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. But we want the trash to build up, and we want God to come in and cover up the smell. We want our plumbing to be back. And we want God to come in and get rid of the whatever's backing it up. We want God to do everything, but God is looking at you like, no, I've already done enough. So we got to change the way that we think. We have to change the way that we see things, and we can't allow things to sit in our minds and sit in our hearts and sit in our spirits, and they're eating us alive. They're tearing us apart, and we're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Why can't my house stand firm? Why can't my house stand the wind and the rain? Why can't my house continue to be strong? Because you're not strong, because you keep letting things come in that are tearing and deteriorating your home.
Come on, sis.
I'm going. I ain't doing it with y'all. Hey, Stanley, see? I'm not doing it with y'all.
And Stanley and Minister Elder Platt's on here too. Come on, y'all. We're going to wait a minute. We're not going to push past that because you need to let that sink in. Get your house in order, okay? Don't Febreze the stench in your house, okay?
Don't Febreze.
Don't Febreze it. Don't Febreze it. My Lord, we want God to honor that which is dishonorable. That's a mess. We're going to pause. Just everybody just pause. Go charge your phones, get you a little sip, a little drink. We don't have that much time, but I want you to settle on that in your whole spirit. In your whole spirit. I know, and I was gonna say the same thing because you preaching and then you be like, I'm just a little deaconess. You are my Lord.
Like, you are him. I know, and it's your fault because I wasn't even supposed to be doing all that on here.
Listen, this is gonna be your video when people need a sample of what you can do. You send them a snippet of this. And then listen, and this is the seated message. Imagine if she was standing up in that pulpit. Come on, somebody. You send them a little snippet of this.
Help me,
we'll
Lord.
Chop and screw it for them.
Help
Come
me,
on,
Lord.
Can I be your manager? Can I be your manager?
Hush, Bishop Platt. Hush.
Mighty God. Mighty God. We could really do the altar call now. We really could. We really could. Will there be one? Has one life been changed? Has any life been changed? Come on, somebody, listen. And I've looked through these messages. Nobody has asked a question. Don't come out of here without your questions answered, is all I'm saying. Don't come out of here without your questions answered. If you had any personal questions that you wanted to ask her. So as we wrap up, have a few more minutes, I want to ask you this. If a person were to see you, and let me do this. My own idea of your timeline is quite different, I'm sure, from what your idea of your timeline is. If you were to say that a rebirth has happened, a changed life has happened, how long have you been in this rebirth, new life phase?
The actual rebirthing probably the last couple of years. Now the whole process of, the pregnancy and all that stuff, that was a few years. But the actual rebirth happened in the last couple of years. And again, it was because something significant happened in my life, and I fell out with somebody that was very important to my life, still is, because we've gotten past that. But it was such a major blow to me. And because I'm this relational person, I'm very relational. That's why I'm a relationship coach. And you got to know you're going to be challenging stuff when you're talking about you're going to do this stuff too. So it was someone that was very, very close to me. And they did something to me that absolutely took me out. Like, I stopped going to church. I wasn't talking to people. I had completely come off social media and everything. I definitely went into this hole, and I just spent my time working on myself. And that's when I realized that, Toya, yeah, you knew that anybody can hurt you, but now you really know that anybody can hurt you. And and I'm one of these people, usually I try to be real positive about stuff and be like, nah, it ain't like that. Or, I try to spin it another way. But this situation took me out so bad. But at the same time, it tapped me into me, and it made me see, okay, now that you know this, what are you going to do? You can't point fingers at them. You can't keep saying it's their fault. They did this to you. You can't keep playing the victim role. What you now have to do is either you're going to sit here and sulk, or you're going to get up and you're going to do what you're called to do. Are you going to get up and stand in your power? So I chose to work through it and stand in my power, because at the end of the day, I cannot allow that situation or anything else in my life to throw me off of what God has called me to do. So that showed me that you really don't have to care. If you and that person could get to this point where y'all are not really even talking and you are really okay with dissolving the relationship, then now you know that no one else, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, because if this person is that significant in your life and you can get to that point with that person, that lets you know that nobody holds as much weight as you make them hold. We give people power that they don't deserve. We give people power that they don't have authority to have. And then we looking around and trying to figure out why so-and-so did us this way and why is this happening to us and why. That's because you gave your power away. You gave your power to people who don't even know how to handle your power. So now you're looking around and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on and why this is happening to you. It's because you allowed it to happen. We can sit back all day and we can say, oh, it's their fault and they did this and I would have never done that and da, da, da. We can sit there all day and we can make a whole list of what they did wrong. But if you make a list of your own, make your own list of what you could have done different. Make your own list of who you should have been in this situation. Make your own list. And what I came up with was, if Toya, if you were more vocal, Toya, if you were more bold, Toya, if you were more steadfast in what you believe, Toya, if you were more confident, Toya, if you would have did this probably would not have happened. And if it did happen, it would not have affected you like it did.
Right.
So now I take that attitude with anybody I deal with now, because at the end of the day, I know who I am. And that really let me know who I am. And I choose me. You gotta choose you. Doesn't mean that you're selfish. Doesn't mean that you're nasty. Doesn't mean that you're being mean. You gotta choose you. Because again, what I have learned about human beings, they would choose themselves. And they would leave you sitting there trying to figure out why they overlooked you. That's because at the end of the day, they chose them. I'm not dying for you. I'm not losing my mind for you. I'm not losing it. I'm not gonna suffer because of you. I'm not doing that. If you want to stand over here and you want to do whatever you're doing, if you want to be this type of person, if you want to act this way, then do that. You do that on your own time. You over here, I'm on a whole nother level. And I had to get okay with leaving people behind. I had to be okay with elevating without taking you along with me. I had to be okay if you don't jump on my bandwagon. I had to be okay if you did not follow me. I had to be okay with that, because if I just do this myself, if I'm by myself, it's fine. Because at the end of the day, it has to happen. Something has to get done, and I can't sit back and wait on you to figure out who I am. Yeah, I know who I am. So while you're sitting around trying to figure it out, God already, come on.
Come on. You stupid. I don't want to call you an idiot on the people live, but you is crazy. You're crazy. Look, y'all, she about to knock down the poster board and everything, which is set up.
Mom, come on. That's right.
You too much.
Yes, ma'am. Choose you.
Too much. So here is my question. Understanding the things that you have lived through in order to have this birth, like you said, the pregnancy that happens and then the rebirth, and then, not even being able to see what you gave birth to. If a person were to support an individual who's going through the same process, is there anything that they could see along the way that would help them to support a person in this process?
To support, first of all, to support someone, you have to move you out the way. To support them, especially in a process like that, you have to move envy, you have to move jealousy, you have to move malice, you have to move those things out of the way, because if you don't have a pure heart towards the person, you're not going to be able to help them. Because in this process is one of the most sensitive times in someone's life. Yeah. And that's when they are trying to figure out who is going to stay and who is going to go. And you have to be very mindful about what you do and say, because you can get demoted or fired real quick, depending on what day it is. Because I'm working on me so much, I'm working on me so intensely, that I don't need any of your stuff that you got that does not go along with what God has said about me and what I'm trying to do. If you're not on that road, if you're not trying to do that, if you don't feel like that, if you don't see it, then okay, it's fine. It doesn't mean that I got to be mean to you. Does not mean that I hate you. Does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. Because see, let me help people.
Come on.
A lot of times we want to get mad at people and we want everybody to be mad on them. And we want to say, God, well, you got to get them back because they did this. And God looking at you like, it really ain't that serious, because it's not.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
we have to understand, just because someone has done us a way that we did not like does not make them a bad person. Just because someone has said something that we did not agree with does not make them a bad person. We in this society where we're a counsel society now. We want to counsel everybody. We want to quit everybody and all that kind of stuff. And yes, that is great at some level, because I'm quick. Understand, to quit people. I'm quick.
Come on.
But you gotta know that you quitting and firing people for a purpose. You can't just be doing it because you nasty and you mad and you just feel some type of way and you just immature. You can't do it because of that. But you cannot then go on this whole tour of they're this and they're that, and you're defaming their name and you're trying to discredit them because you feel some type of way about how they did you. Does not mean that they are nasty people. So we can associate a moment or a situation with somebody's full character. That's like you have this great relationship with somebody. Y'all are good. You have been there for them. Y'all have fun. Y'all hang out. You support them. All that kind of stuff. You're an amazing friend, amazing mate to them. And then you do one thing wrong, and now you are the scum of the earth.
Right.
That's not okay. Don't forget the track record of the people in your life, because like they say, you don't want to burn bridges. You may think you don't need that person, but you may later on down the line need that person. And don't get so high and mighty in yourself and feel like you so high on the totem pole that you can't get pushed down. You can't. You can get knocked down. It takes one moment. Look at where we all at now. We all kind of in the same place right now in this pandemic. We all kind of in the same area right now, because a lot of us can't work. A lot of us can't make the money like we used to make. So none of us can really look at the other any kind of way. So at the end of the day, you have to remember, one day your position can change. So are you going to mistreat the people that are in the position that you want to be in? Or are you going to treat them like you want to be in the position? Are you going to treat the people wrong that are in the position you want to be in? Or are you going to treat them like you want to be in the position? Because what we forget is you have to do certain things to get in the position. So if you're going to be nasty and immature and mean to the people that are already in that position, you may not get your name entered into the bucket to be considered for the position.
Come on.
All they're going to think about is, oh no, they're nasty. Oh no, they're this and they're that. And you can have all the credentials, you can have all the recommendations, you can have all the background, but if your character is nasty, your personality is mean and stank, nobody is going to stamp you.
Come on, stank. Yes.
Sometimes you got to be stamped by some people, sometimes, not all the time. But you cannot treat people wrong and expect to be where they are. And
that's good.
And let's flip it. Just because you're in the position that you're in now and they're behind you, you can't mistreat them, because one day they might be in front of you and you're going to need them to pull you up. But if you have treated them wrong and they were behind you and you refuse to pull them up, they're not going to do the same for you. And they may, because everybody's spirit isn't the same, because they may still pull you up, but are you deserving of the pull up because the way you treated them before?
Come on.
You gotta put the work in before it happens. You gotta prepare for it before it happens. You gotta be ready for it before it happens. Your attitude, your mindset, your spirit, your actions, your demeanor, the way you carry yourself, all of that. You got to get that stuff together, because you're going to need somebody. And they're going to need you. But if you always feel like you don't need anybody and you can just treat people any kind of way, that ain't going to work for you. That's not going to work for you, because you find yourself in a position where you're going to look around and you're going to reach out your hand and there's nobody there to grab you. Sow your seeds. Sow the right seeds. Come on.
You are too funny and pure entertainment. If we just take one more pause again, folks, I want you to note the beautiful pink flowers in the background. They're so soft. They're so gentle. And then look what we have right here. We have a spitfire is what you want to call her. Hot.
You so petty. You don't have to talk about my flowers, which were done by my sister. Her name is Lakeisha Bradley. So she's on social media. Y'all check her out. She handmade these with paper. So you can reach out to me and she'll do any design, color, all that. So yeah.
Come on, plug. That's what she said. You got to pull the people up. Come on. That's what she said.
You gotta pull them up. Come on, pull up.
Okay. I just cannot. I cannot even. I cannot. So you get the commentary and you get all of this movement and stuff. It's like, come on, this too much. This too much. So we have, if you have been listening, we've covered what it looks like when you change your posture, when you change your life, and then the results of it. And we can clearly, in Coach Kite's wonderful articulation of this experience, we can see the change. We can see that she is even full of life. And not to say that she wasn't always, because as a sister friend, I've seen her full of life. And then to see all of this carry over into business, it's just been a pleasure to watch. It's just been a pleasure to watch. If you, Coach Kite, had any, look at your sister in the comments. You see what your sister said?
Yes, come on, commercial, huh?
Oh, Lord. Sidebar. It's always a sidebar, eh? Come on. So, it looks gentle. It looks real nice. It smiles. It looks angelic. So, if you had any encouragement for a person who is, I want to say, bending the corner, okay? She can maybe see her path. She knows it's there. Maybe she's getting from under the thumb of those individuals. You know, maybe she's doing the restructuring of the household, the deconstruction, and looking forward to the reconstruction on the outside. If you can give a person who can see it, but is not quite there yet, if you could give her a tip, what would you say?
If you can see it, you already too late. You need to move. You got to get out of your own way. Something that I heard Priscilla Schreier say, and she is an amazing. If y'all have never listened to her, check her out. Her whole entire family. She's the daughter of Tony Evans, who is a major preacher in our
and he just released the Bible commentary, African American people. Come on.
I want to get that because he's amazing. He's a really good teacher. And his whole family, they're beasts. Like, so she's the daughter, and she said something one time. She said, on the other side of fear, that's where your purpose is. And that thing has stuck with me, and I think it's been a couple of years since she's said it, and that stuck with me because she said, God doesn't reside in fear, so that means that the enemy is trying to keep me from something. The enemy is trying to stop me from doing something. So I gotta keep pushing beyond the fear. I gotta keep pushing beyond what I see. I gotta keep pushing beyond myself. Because a lot of times we are our own worst enemies. We can see the whole picture in front of us, but because our lens is broken and our lens is blurred, our lens is not right, we don't have the right strength for our lens, then we're around here and we're scared to move forward because even though we may see it, it's kind of blurry. Even though we may see it, it looks a little misconstrued. Even though we can see it, we don't really believe that we can get to it. Because one of the reasons could be because all of our lives we have seen stuff and we have not made it to it. So we feel like it's the same in this situation or in this season or for our purpose, we're not going to get there because all my life I've been this person. All my life they've overlooked me. All my life they haven't listened to me. All my life I've been the last person to be picked. All my life I've been the black sheep. All my life, I've been left out. You will have all that running through your head, and on the other side of that fear is your greater destiny. And because of all of that going in your head, you don't ever make the step to go towards it because you feel like I'm not going to make it. And then also, if I make it, I'm not going to stay in it. A lot of times we feel like we can get there, but we don't have enough to keep us there. One of the things I've learned, if you've been invited into the room or you step into the room, you belong in the room.
Come on.
And a lot of times we can mess up because we'll get in the room and we'll start changing how we got in the room.
Yes.
They selected you and they chose you to be in that room because of who you are. Don't change who you are when you get in the room because you feel like you got to change it up to stay in the room. No, they picked you for a reason. God called you for a reason. God selected you for a reason. God set you apart for a reason. So don't change up who you are. Yes, there are things that you can make better, and there's some things you can improve on, but don't change your whole makeup. And that's something I had to learn. That's why I am the way I am right now on this whole live video, because I have learned to settle in who I am. I'm not like everybody else, but that is fine. Some people receive it and some won't, but I'm not going to change who I am when I was invited into the room by who I was. And so I could change up because I feel like the audience or whoever's in the room is not going to be able to handle who I am. But you were chosen because of who you were. Stick to who you are, and you will make it. So just step out on faith. Again, faith without works is dead. Step out on faith and do your thing, baby. Do it the best you can. No, you're not going to have everything you need sometimes, but that's all right. God will send it.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Look at her, y'all. She rolled her eyes when she was done with her encouraging words for us. You did. You don't even pay it no mind. Because you like,
y'all know my facial expressions.
He don't mean no harm, y'all. That's how she shows her passion and her love.
Up your feet for nobody to come in. Come on. I'm not going to talk about it because we need to go.
Come on, we got time. Say it. Say it.
You be trying to amp me up. You be trying to amp me up, man.
That's what supporters do. That's what sisters do. Turn down for what? That's what they say.
Honestly, we that is good because we can think, yeah, we got in the room, but we so discouraged when we get in the room. We be like, nah, somebody else should be here. So we'll give up our seat for somebody else. And you don't understand, you're giving your seat up to somebody else and they may jack up the room. They may mess up the room. They may destroy the seat at the table. They may not do right when they get in there. Yeah, they may have the talent, they may have the gift, but they don't have the calling. Huh?
They may have the appearance. They may look like it. And that's the thing. We get tripped up by the woman who looks like she's supposed to be there.
Right.
But I walk like I'm supposed to be there.
Come on.
So that's a challenge, people. You hear what the sister said. You hear what she said. Don't give up your seat now. Take your seat at the table.
Get comfortable, honey. Get comfortable at your table. And if you got to create your own table, get your own table.
Come on. You heard that from the architect table herself. Come on. Building tables out here. Being tables out here.
Tables. Yeah.
Come on. You hear it. That's her. That's exactly why these are the calls you need. You don't need the prim and proper bling coaches. You need the bad coaches who are going to tell you straight like it is. Not going to sugarcoat it, going to talk to you like your mean auntie. Come on, sis. Tell them. Me. Those are the aunties we love. Oh, Lord. Listen, you all. I do hope and pray. And listen, don't listen. This is, you gave us your best self. You came back out of it now. This is your whole best self with the flowers in the back, right? So I hope you all have gotten all the tips all the tools directly. We didn't try to circle back around and do stuff cookie cutter and all that type of stuff. I hope this was direct enough for you not to miss it. And that's always my urgent prayer, that we don't miss it, that we don't miss the word, that we don't miss what God has for us, that we don't miss the push or the pull. Because sometimes we want purpose to be cute. Sometimes we want purpose to be in a workbook. Sometimes you want purpose to be in a breakthrough sermon. And Coach Kite will tell you it don't happen like that. She said it was several years of the pregnancy and then a few more years of the birth itself. It takes time. And so I wanted to present this conversation to you so you can understand that even while it's taking time, we understand that you're a work in progress. And we respect that. We want you to do the same. Respect your birthing process.
Respect your process.
Respect. All right. Any final thought, Coach?
No, but you can follow me on my page. My name, well, on Facebook is Latoya Shante Kite. Also I have a podcast called The Complete Woman. It's on Apple, so you can go to your Apple store and you can download it. Google Play is coming, but there is a link on my page. I think it's on my page, Lord, I don't know. But through the podcast called The Complete Woman. And I also have a group called The Complete Woman. The Complete Woman is geared towards mothers and wives. It's an organization to kind of help mothers and wives to kind of really shed that whole role of mother and wife and become the woman that we were created to be, our original intent. Then I have the Architect's Table. I have that page. I have Instagram, Latoya_Shante, and the Life Architect _. So you can contact me on those. Also, my email is thearchitectstable@yahoo.com. My Complete Woman, the Complete Woman 19@gmail.com. And yeah, that's it.
And a book.
Oh yeah, and 2 books. I have No More Settling, Finding Wholeness in Relationships. That's my book that's loosely based on my life to help people in relationships. And then I have the book that we co-authored together called Change Your Posture. What's the name? Because I don't be remembering it. What's the name?
Change Your Posture for Women. It's real simple, people. Change your posture.
You got more than one.
Change Your Posture for Women.
So
yes.
Yeah.
2 books. That's so wonderful. Listen, you all, as you have heard this closing out of this call, I want you to also think about how that adds to the story itself. All of the things that were birthed along the way that maybe didn't always feel like a big old birth, but they are actually building blocks. Anybody preparing for a baby also buy stuff in preparation for the outcome. So think about that too. And now tying that into the podcast, The Complete Woman. We need to be thinking about things that help us be complete, not just things that win us success, notoriety, popularity. This is about the complete woman, and you have heard from the complete woman herself, Coach Latoya Kite. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope this has been a pleasant experience for you. And until next time, we will see you. Bye-bye.